Manchester United are unhappy with leaks coming out regarding the manager's situation. They're not too pleased that the managerial talk of possibilities coming in, Ten Hag going out, is going on, circulating before the FA Cup final. Well, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. I do not care. I don't even think United are that bothered. You know what? The only way you stop Manchester United from news coming out about Manchester United, or Manchester United coming out and having to say something, is by stopping the leaks from the players from Carrington. That's where you stop all of this crap going on that Man United are apparently unhappy about. This is just business as well. I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about that in detail and go through everything that's been said. After what was last night, it was a bit of a crazy day yesterday with all the managers that were being touted for Manchester United. Everybody, and I mean everybody, has reported this now. So we can't say that this is hearsay, this is just complete and utter garbage, just media spin. Literally everyone from The Athletic to The Times to The Telegraph to Sky to ESPN, everyone is reporting the same thing. Manchester United have contacted several managers looking at the possibility of replacing Erik Ten Hag. These are facts. We know this now. Everyone's on it and everyone has spoken about it. So let's just deal with it. If you're upset with it, then you're not in the right game. For years and years and years, all we've moaned about is a structure and Manchester United doing business the right way, being sharp, being decisive, getting the deals done. What do you expect Ineos to be doing right now other than touting and speaking to other managers? They need to have their eggs lined up. They need to have everything ready to go to put in one basket. A big decision is coming. So if you've got an issue with this, or you feel sorry that Ten Hag has been betrayed, what a load of crap. God. Anyway, let's get talking about it. This is the show. This is FUTV, Forever United TV. I'm Adam. This is where we just say it as it is, guys. I'm sorry if it upsets you. I'm sorry if you don't like it that way. But this is usually why people join me, because you get the opportunity to have your say on this as well. If you agree with me or not, I just think this club has gone soft. That's what I think. I think we're too soft. What Ineos are doing right now, I've got no issue at all with. The managerial situation is what it is. It is the same for every Premier League manager. It's the world that they live in, the world that they're used to. And let's not forget, when they get let off by a football club, they get a big payday. And guess what else happens after that? They get another job. So don't worry about it. Don't think like it's being hard done to by any manager when this situation comes about. It's just the world that it is. And we just have to hope that we get the right man in place. And you know what? Sometimes you have to go through a few managers to actually find the right one. Good God, man. Some people right now are absolutely doing my head in. Personally, you may think that they're right. I'm here all the time to take your critique and your responses to that, guys. It's not just my say. I'm just talking and running the show and blast out everything that I have on my mind, get your opinions back on that. But where are you at with what is going on in the world right now? McKenna has definitely been approached. We know this for certain. Even The Athletic are reporting it now. So let's just put all of that aside and let's just start from what we know as exacts. We went through them last night. Tuchel, yes. Pochettino, yes. McKenna, yes. There are some rumours about De Zerbi. I'm not sure about that one, so let's leave that aside. And Thomas Frank, they were the four. We talked about them last night in detail and what they bring, why they're good, why they're not good. Every single one of these managers is a problem for Manchester United, but every single one of these managers is a good thing for Manchester United. Let's just get down to what is necessary right now for our football club. I keep saying it, and we keep getting pushback on it by people. And I've seen today some people like Ten Hag is being betrayed by Manchester United. Look at Ten Hag and what he's doing, turning Bayern Munich down. He can say he's not spoken to him, but his representatives might have spoken to them, and that's what's happened with these other managers. Manchester United are just doing what you'd expect a properly run football club to do. Actually speak to people and have something lined up for the other scenario, which is not having a manager because we've sacked Ten Hag after the FA Cup final. This is normal football business. Get over it and start bitching and moaning about it like you have got this connection with a certain manager. There is none. There is no loyalty in football. The only loyalty in football is the fans to their football club. And that's why we have shows like this, so we can talk about it and give our opinions on it. Because let's be honest, we get F all else from the football club, do we? So let's have it out on here and let's get everyone's opinions laid out, and let's just clear all the air with what is going on with United right now. I'm a Man United fan. I spend a fortune watching my football club. Whether I'm different to anyone else that's on YouTube giving their opinions, I don't care. Everyone deserves an opinion on football. Every United fan is an equal. So you're all welcome to get involved and get on this subject or whatever subject we're talking about. Me personally, I've been brought up a certain way, and that's how I view my football club, and that's how my opinions usually come across that way. I'm more of the hard hand type of character, where I just want it laid out. I understand there are other sides of things, and sometimes there's more delicate matters at hand, but this, everybody knows. Every football fan across the planet knows that a manager's lifespan at a football club is not a long one. They take absolute fortunes out of it. They're not being hampered in any way, shape or form. It's a stressful job because of difficult questions that they have to be answer in front of the media, and there's awkward situations with players and whatnot. But you have to understand what the reality of a football manager's career is. And in the Premier League, they go into it and they know. They know. Why do you think Kieran McKenna is going for a big job right now? He's got no idea what's going to happen in the Premier League, and opportunities come around. He has to take it. He has to take it. We say, and I said it last night, I think he'd be better at Brighton. But if you're in his position and then bright lights shine and welcome you into one of the big clubs, what are you going to do? You're not going to say no, are you? I just hope that he looks at it, looks at the offers that are on the table. Like I said, I like McKenna. I want him to do well. I think he's done fantastic over the last couple of years. All the managers we're talking about, and last night we had a debate about if I was being too disrespectful for Vincent Kompany. I want all the managers to ultimately do well. Like, it's a hard job. It's a very hard job. All I'm bothered about is if that manager is right for our football club. Manchester United need the right man to deal with our situation, which is like no other club on the planet right now. Absolutely no one is in the situation that Manchester United is in. It's absolute craziness. And for a club of Manchester United size, for this to be happening, everyone's watching it, is a very, very important time for the football club, because we could just completely disappear the way that we're going. The trajectory Manchester United's going, less and less to spend, more and more money being wasted, wages going higher and higher. We need that to go down while the football performance goes up. If we don't get on this and don't act fast and don't act the way that Ineos are acting to try and make that big change, then you can forget United being relevant at all in football, and we'll just be that laughingstock, the falling giant. If you're happy with that and your standards are these players that are at Manchester United, and you want to cling on to that hard luck story that a player has had and everything like that, then go for it. But you won't win trophies. Just ask Real Madrid fans what their standards are. Look how many trophies they've got because of the demands of the fan base. I mean, yeah, there's some parts of that football club which are absolutely ludicrous, but the standards never drop. And that's the big thing. That's what we used to be like. Super chat in from Martino. Thanks for that. Good morning, Adam. Do you think it's right for a content creator to Ten Hag more than a club? Let me just read that again. Good morning, Adam. Do you think it's right for a content creator to Ten Hag more than the club? Is that a joke whenever I missed something there on that one? But thanks for the super chat, mate. Another super chat in from Liam. Thanks for that, mate. Just got myself a last-minute ticket for tomorrow. Good man. I'll see you there, Liam. Anyone who is actually going to the game tomorrow, let me know. The road trip will be on tomorrow. We're going live before the game outside Wembley as well. I will be talking to fans, hopefully before and definitely after the game outside the stadium. So make sure that you let me know where you're about. If you don't want to get on, we can still have a chat anyway and go over what's going on at the football club. Hopefully it's a happy day for the red side of Manchester tomorrow. But good on you, Liam. I'll see you down there at Wembley tomorrow, my man. Right, let's get into some of your comments on what has been going on. I want to just test where everyone's at with how they see football, and like, have you got a problem with what is going on right now? It's my boys in the chat says, it's Poch. Poch ain't going willingly from Chelsea without a payday, which would have brought about some sort of clause preventing him from working immediately. Jonathan, Adam, some people might be sad for Erik ten Hag, but some might be sad for Erik ten Hag, but not but for the club. I sort of get what you mean there. Yeah, Erik ten Hag going is more a sign of bigger problems that are not solved by changing the manager. Well, no, on that one, Jonathan. What I'm saying is people are looking at this, and my point that I just made in that opening section there was that people are looking at this like it's a sad thing for Erik ten Hag, and you feel sorry for him. Some people might think the other way, but the people I'm talking about are not that way. I know the way you're saying, and I understand it's in the bigger scope, like I said then. All I care about is the right manager for Manchester United. I don't care about Ten Hag. He doesn't care about us. Yeah, he thanks the fans and everything like that, but like I said, there's no loyalty in football. The only loyal people are the fans, and we can't have our say or do anything. So yes, all I want is the right manager for Manchester United. I've got no allegiance to anybody else at all. I will support whoever is in charge, whoever is on that pitch, and then bitch and moan about them later if I think they've got it wrong, which we are entitled to do because we get shafted every other way, don't we, as fans, especially by United. Cheers for the comment as well there, mate. Love Ten Hag. It should be love Ten Hag more than the club. I'm talking about the other guy over the other stand. Yeah, helps if the stream doesn't blow up, doesn't it? It's been going on for months, though, and is unsettling. I know, Babs. I know it's been going on, but this goes on at every single football club. It does, doesn't it? We know going back, you had to watch that 99 documentary. Sir Alex Ferguson, handing in resignations that we didn't know about. The board discussing whether he was the right man for the job. Every single manager is under pressure every single week. Because it's Manchester United, it's blown up even more. They have to just calculate that unsettling factor into what their actual job is at the football club. There's nothing else you can do about it. It's not going to ever stop. When the new manager comes in, as soon as he loses, he's under pressure. It's like when I spoke with Rob Dawson from ESPN that time. He was exactly right, and I always go back to what he said. Someone who's been in and around Manchester United for years, have reported on them for years. The only way Manchester United operate is by getting results on the pitch. It counts for everything. The fans, the manager, the players, the money, everything is all about what happens on the pitch. The whole model is built on success on the pitch. And to try and ignore that, the way United have done in the last 10 years with the Glazers, is why we're in this situation that we're in right now. It's about results. Ineos know it's about results. Best results on the pitch means the best product. The best product then brings the best money, the best deals. Manchester United are the biggest brand in sport. And without results on the pitch, it diminishes and goes down. You have to be playing in the big competitions. You have to be playing and dining at the top table. And United are nowhere near it. Ineos know what United can get and are willing to take the hit to get there. They have to be, otherwise you won't fork out that much bleeding money to the regime that's took United into the actual pits. So, yeah, Ineos are making a sacrifice and a commitment to Manchester United, especially, like everyone says, I hate the word getting into bed with the Glazers, but it really is what it is, isn't it? It is an absolute catastrophe if United are not competing at the level we should be. And you know what? The real losers in all of it, again, I'll say, is us lot. It's the fans. Adam, if it was only as simple as changing the manager, it's not. And that's why we've changed the CEO, the director of football, the technical director, a head of recruitment, an owner, and now a manager, and now half the squad. It's exactly what you just said there, Jonathan, and that's exactly what's happening this summer and why I've been going on about it so much. It's not as simple as sacking a manager. We've talked through every single permutation, situation and everything with Manchester United over the last few months. We've been trying to think how we can make more money. We've seen the people that have come in above. Everything needs changing. The stadium's been talked about changing. So what you said there, Jonathan, is dead right. But the manager is part of that whole process that you're talking about and alluding to there, my man. And that is exactly what United are doing right now. If Ten Hag goes, so bleeding what? It's all part of the process of taking United back to the top again. He has proved that he is not good enough in so many different ways. Not every way. He's done some really good things at the football club. But for everyone to be getting on board with this, let's just get behind the manager. I understand that side of getting behind the manager and everything that comes with that and being a supporter. But let's be honest, you have to hand on heart say that he hasn't been up to scratch this season. He's not been able to handle Manchester United. And let's look at it this way. If there's someone better in any walk of life, at any job, that person comes in and replaces someone else. It's progression. It has to move forward. Look, did Manchester City need Pep Guardiola? Not really. They were doing okay without him. They were secure and challenging for everything. But they wanted to win. They wanted to take trophies and be the best. So they got the best. They got the best structure above him and then started to invest into that structure the right way. And that's what Manchester United have not done for the last decade. And sacrifices have to be made. People will be upset when you are trying to make a success of something. It doesn't come without sacrifice. I'm sorry, it's just part of life. If he goes, he goes. Another man comes in, it's up to Ineos to make sure he's the right man. But I'll go back to what I said yesterday. If you're backing Ten Hag, Ineos, I don't want this 1 year crap. Everyone knows my opinion of Ten Hag. And I'll just say this now, just so you guys can quash your agenda messages later on in the comment section about me being fully Ten Hag out. If he keeps Ten Hag, he needs to give him a new 3-year contract. And that's coming from me. I understand the structure. I understand what's needed. Yes, I don't like Ten Hag. But if you're going to commit to something right now for this 3-year project, this is all on Ineos. This is their project right now. So if they do sack him, the next manager is going to get scrutinised under Ineos. And this is why the Glazers have got away with bleeding murder with all of this. But if you keep Ten Hag, he needs a new contract. It's as simple as that. That's football. That's football management. I don't want this half-hearted, let's just test out this next year with Ten Hag bollocks. He needs a 3-year deal. Or you bring someone else in on a 3-year deal. That's it. Like, it's the same for everyone else. Like, 3-year plan for Ineos, 3-year plan for the manager. It's the only way it succeeds, I feel. Adam, Mike has convinced me that Thomas Frank is the man we need. Thomas Frank is a good manager. All the managers being mentioned are good managers. They're all on a very, for me, on the same level. I think Frank would do well elsewhere. I think Ten Hag would do well elsewhere. Pochettino, yes. McKenna, yes. De Zerbi, yes. Tuchel is above all of them. I don't care what anyone says. I think he is the best bet for Manchester United. My opinion. There we go. I know you're all talking about a certain other someone. I'm not even going to mention his name in the chat. Can't be dealing with that. Adam, free my baller. Anthony Martial 9. No, stop laughing and joking me, Martino. Thanks for the super, mate. Don't do it to me. Robert Duffy, welcome to the members club. The Honest Tiger has donated that membership to you, my friend. Thank you very much, The Honest Tiger. Yet again, you absolute Leggiano of the channel. Right, we're getting through some of your messages now. McKenna is going to say no, but let's be honest, he ain't got what it takes, says Joshua. Sim, set for life. McKenna will win the lottery with a big club. Goldfish is the biggest fraud in the fan base. Martino, I'm not going to disagree. Hi, Adam. I believe that Erik ten Hag has told Ineos that he will leave after the cup final. Possibly something to do with the alteration in his extended contract. That's why they are looking elsewhere. I don't think it's Ten Hag wanting to leave. I think it's Ineos making the decision more, personally. Pep wouldn't have done better with the injuries we've had this year, but yes, he would. That is complete and utter garbage. Sorry, I'm not being disrespectful there or anything, but I've seen it with De Zerbi at weekend with Brighton. They were the better side, and they still played the same way. Pep would have got more out of Manchester United with the injuries that we've had. Just like Poch got more out of Chelsea with more injuries than what United have. And Eddie Howe got more out of Newcastle with more injuries than what Manchester United had. They both finished above us, by the way. The table's at the bottom there. That's a complete myth again. Honest Tiger has been a member for 6 months. What a man. Thank you for this channel. Found it 6 months ago and feel I found my United family. That's what we are in here. We let everyone have a say, as many people as we can have a say anyway, because there is a lot in the chat right now. Everyone's got so much to say. And this is why I love doing these shows and having moments in the shows to bring your comments in, guys. Like Andrew Shaw, another member there, has said, referencing 99, Ferguson puts his resignation in because he was criticised by the board after winning 4 titles, 3 FA Cups, 1 League Cup, 1 Euro Cup winners, 1 Euro Super Cup. Shows how our standards have dropped. I don't even need to add anything to that, Andrew. Thank you for that comment, mate. Ineos doing all of this before the final is a disgrace. No, it's not, Jay. It's not. Ineos are doing exactly what they should be doing, and I'm thankful that they are doing it. It's the leaks coming out from the club that you should have the problem with for letting everybody know about it. Behind the scenes, if they weren't doing this right now, it's just the same with transfers. It's just the same with transfers. Like, you'd expect Manchester United to be already lining up 6 or 7 players. You'd expect United, if they're not happy with a manager, and we've had our worst season ever in the Premier League, to have 4 or 5 managers lined up in a shortlist, which it does appear we have got. But the problem with Manchester United is it's Manchester United. It's the biggest brand in world football. It's the biggest sporting enterprise in the world and the most valuable one. And people want to know, and people will find out. And at the moment, we are at the bottom with players that don't belong, and they're kicking off thinking they've got this God-given right because of this protective United bubble that they have been under for so many years, that Ineos have just popped, and they do not like it. So stories are being leaked, and it's the media that are telling us what is happening. So it's not Ineos, and Ineos have done nothing wrong with what is happening with Ten Hag. Let's just get that straight. It's exactly what an ownership should be doing. Getting their ships in order and making sure that everything is ready to go once they are ready to make that decision and the season is done. The fact that it's leaked out is nothing to do with the ownership model of Manchester United. It's all to do with leaks coming out of the football club that they don't know about. Kaz just said, I wanted to say that everyone is welcome FUTV. We don't discourage opinions. We want more opinions. Jonathan's back in. I hope we only have one more poor season to endure. Jonathan, I think we've got a couple. I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to have to suffer a little bit more to get to the top. I don't think it's just going to turn around quickly. Like I said, I want top 4 with any manager that's in next season. I do. I think that has to be the blueprint. I think Ineos will set the bar higher and won't accept. I don't know what's going to happen to the next manager. If it is a new manager, that is, if we don't make top 4 next season. It's going to be a weird one. Biggest club in the world, and we deserve better. Well said, boxing. Jawa says, majority of players faking injuries, Rashford being the biggest waste of space, getting as lazy as Martial. Truth. Great managers get the best out of bang average and make good players elite. Eric Ten Hag isn't good enough whether we win the cup or not. Everyone's talking about winning the cup and forgetting about Man City. I love forgetting about Man City. I'd rather not talk about them at all, but I think we do have to realise like what we're up against this weekend as well. Sorry, but Louise in the chat, and she says, sorry, but it's the same people that were giving out Ineos were doing nothing that are now complaining they're doing something. It's a good point, Louise. It always happens, doesn't it? Anthony Wisdom has just donated the membership, which gone to Peter Nielsen. All members, make sure that you're clued up on the members section. That is the members videos that you can see regarding all of the stuff that's coming up. We do have a watch along this weekend. No, it's not the FA Cup final because I'll be there talking to you guys. But on the Sunday, we're doing the playoff final as well. We will have the Champions League final coming up as well. I won't be in the country doing that, but we're still going to do what we can because we want to give you guys the best content. Okay, yeah, so in terms of where we're at with the ownership, we all know what's right and what's wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Ineos are doing. I think it's wrong how it's all been leaked out. And yeah, I want to just move past that now and get into something else that has been talked about Quickly, super chat for Mark. Football isn't a game anymore, it's a business, and a lot of people find it hard to understand that players play for fame and fortune now and not the badge. A lot of them do. They really do, and it's sad, but some just put more effort in than others, we could say. Cheers for that super chat, mate. Bruno Fernandes talking to the Players Tribune. We all know what that is, don't we, Marcus? But yeah, he has been opening up on what his time at Manchester United has been. The interesting quote from Bruno Fernandes was about what he wants. Like, he loves the thought of walking out onto Old Trafford. It's everything to Bruno Fernandes. He went back to talking about when his agent contacted him when Manchester United were interested, and he just said it was like it was a no-brainer. This was his ultimate dream, to play for Manchester United. Is where he wants to be, and it's personally, I love it. I love Bruno Fernandes. I do believe that this has all come out now because Bruno Fernandes wants a new contract. Going straight back into the conversation we were just having there, and like what Mark said in the super chat regarding players wanting to play for wages. Like, they do need to look after themselves as well, players, because it is a short career. And Bruno Fernandes doing this interview now on the eve of the takeover, and in it there is a statement there like he doesn't want anything else but Manchester United. But also in that same paragraph, he also said, quoted, was saying as Manchester United's ambitions need to match my ambitions. So if the club have ambitions to keep me, that's fantastic, but they have to show that they want to keep me, basically, is what Bruno Fernandes is saying. So yeah, you look into that and go, he's calling out the club a little bit. He wants commitment from Ineos. He wants commitment from Manchester United. He wants that new deal broken down. So Bruno Fernandes, again, like, he understands the situation, I think, very, very clearly at United right now. Cheers for the 150 likes, by the way, guys. Let's try and bump that up to the 200 mark, everyone. Well over 600 in the room with us. Thank you for joining us this morning. Just to clear what we was talking about earlier on, we're on to Bruno Fernandes right now. Talking about what he was saying in his Player Tribune interview. We were talking about the standards of Manchester United, what Ineos are doing. Some people are saying it is disrespectful to Erik ten Hag. It's betrayal. I completely disagree with that. I think Ineos are just doing what we all wanted an ownership to do. And for some reason, with a few people now, I've actually got an issue with that. But everyone's got different ways of looking at things and different standards. Back to Bruno Fernandes. His standards have always been about winning. Is he going to win anything in the next 2 years at Manchester United? I think is the important thing that we need to look at here. With the project and everything that's coming, will Bruno Fernandes, at the age he is, win anything? If he commits to Manchester United, which he said he wants to do, he is taking a full-on risk, I think. Yes, he may get that deal that he wants, but in terms of winning, I know he would love to win something with Manchester United, but in every player's psyche and every player's mind, there comes that point where it's like, are we going to win something? Are we going to get over the line in a big competition? Can I get my hands on that Premier League trophy playing for Manchester United in the next 4 years? Because 2 years left of his contract now takes him to, I think, 31. This is why we're talking about Bruno and maybe moving him on in the summer. But you have the players' side of it. You have to understand. I think we all have to sort of like drop down to where they are and say, look, like, you have to have concerns about signing a new deal at Manchester United as well. So, yeah, I can see Bruno's side. I can see what he's done with this interview, the way I look at it anyway. Guys, let me know what you think with Bruno. Do you feel like he is just fishing out a new deal with all of this? Do you feel like he is looking for Ineos to react? His numbers have been very similar. Like, he has been one of the more consistent players. And he does drive that team forward a lot of the time. So let's just think for Bruno's side of it. He wants to commit to Manchester United. This has to all be about money now, because the player knows that there is a chance that he's not going to pick up a major trophy, whereas he could go out to possibly Bayern Munich. I don't think Bruno Fernandes would go anywhere near the Saudi League. That's just my look on Bruno. I don't think he would, but you just don't know, do you? You really don't know, and I think Ineos have ruffled enough feathers for people like Bruno Fernandes to be concerned about his future. So I do believe that they are the right people. A lot of people have called out Bruno Fernandes and saying that we should be getting rid of Bruno Fernandes. A lot of people said we need to keep him. He's that seniority and that influence on the team that we need if we are going to buy younger players, younger profile players. We need that experience in the team still. So it's a tricky one. It is. And I've said this before. I've said if we were running well, I think Bruno would have been sold this summer. If Bruno was playing for City and coming to the end of this contract, 2 years to go, at the age of 29, City would be selling Bruno Fernandes. But we're not in that position. We're kind of desperate a little bit, aren't we, for decent players or half-decent players at the moment, because we have got a load of duck eggs in our side. We really do. Let's get into some of your comments on Bruno. Let me know what you think, guys. I was showing off what my club, City, has earned, says Red One. Is that a City fan? I'm not too sure. In a couple of months, when we got our new manager and we're featuring Rashford and every match again, things will go back to where they were. Everyone will be happy. I don't get what you mean by that one, Patrick. In terms of like going back to the same old in terms and sacking a manager and then it just happening all over again, I don't think that is going to happen. I can't see that happening with the way that the structure's changing. The structure was what the players loved last time. The summer camp, the get away with murder, the no accountability, the manager taking the flak for absolutely everything, players getting bumper deals just because they wanted to keep hold of an asset. Well, if that asset isn't bringing in the right results for Ineos and their structure, that asset is going to be flirted. By the way, the player that apparently kicked off yesterday when he heard he wasn't in the team, or the first penciled-in provisional team for the FA Cup final, a team that can change and isn't a definite, but the first one that's been announced, it's not been announced, sorry, the first one that's been sort of leaked out, it was Anthony, who apparently kicked off a right stink and stormed off the training ground. Now, I haven't seen this. I'm just being told that this is what's happening, and I'm really not bothered if it is Anthony. He's in no position to be kicking up. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen him with the closed mouth at Crystal Palace. We've seen him bitching a couple of times because he's had to play at left back for the team. He's not willing to take one for the team. He's an individual who wants to be the one that's picking up the limelight for me. The fact that he scored that goal, what was it, his first Premier League goal or his second Premier League goal of the season or something like that, and then go over and grab that Sonic header, it's like, come on, mate. No. Don't do that. But, yeah, I'm really not bothered if it is Anthony that's kicking up a stink. I wouldn't start him in the game ahead of Ahmad anyway, but I don't think Ahmad's going to play. Just going off the noises that I'm hearing about the final tomorrow, I don't think Ahmad is going to start. But also what I'm being told, provisionally, again, neither is Marcus Rashford. So you know what's happening. And you know what? This is very, very likely. There is one player that's been dropped for another player, which I was surprised about. But I'll probably go into that into the preview later, the proper preview. But remember what Erik ten Hag did against Manchester City. And the way I'm thinking about this is, and the reason I think this is why he's going to go this way, is because he alludes to the City game when we beat City 2-1 last season as the only game ever while he's been at Manchester United where he had his full squad to select from. That's the only game apparently in Ten Hag's tenure where he's had everyone available to pick from in his squad. And he always goes back to it. And in that game, he played Bruno Fernandes on the right-hand side of the three at the front. And he dropped into midfield to make that midfield even more difficult to get through. He's going to pack out the midfield tomorrow, I think. And I think he will play Scott McTominay as well. I think we'll have an extra midfielder in the front line. It'll be Bruno on the right, and Bruno will drop into midfield and make it difficult for City by jam-packing that midfield, staying in the game, and then maybe we can unleash the likes of, I can't believe I'm saying it, but Marcus Rashford, Martial, Ahmad, all of the skillful, fast, quick players later on when everyone's tired, and we can maybe hit City on the break. don't get me wrong, this is where Ten Hag falls down as well, because if it goes wrong and we concede, we haven't really got a plan B. So it's plan A, and hopefully you compete with City and stay in the game. And then when it gets a bit tiring later on, he makes a substitute or two, and we get a few more fresh forwards back in. I think that's how Ten Hag is going to approach it. I think that's how it's going to be. But, hey, I might be wrong. He might go a complete other way. The league team that I've seen might not be the exact one, but I think when you look at it, it makes sense because he has done it before against City, and that's been his only success against Manchester City. And Martial was fit for that game as well. So I think that's where he's going to go with it. Personally, I think Ten Hag is going to go 5 in midfield. So it's probably going to be more like a 4-4-2. So he's going to have like 4 central midfielders on the pitch. He's going to be absolutely solid. Rely on the fullbacks to hold out, and hopefully the centre-backs can deal with crosses into the box. Because we know Haaland is decent in the air as well. So I think that's what we need to bear in mind when this team comes out. Very narrow view. We have changed so many managers to no avail. We need stability and some loyalty towards managers who has reached 3 finals in first 2 seasons. Name me a manager to do that in the EPL. I'm not talking about finals. I don't care about finals, mate. I care about winning trophies. That's my standard. Again, if your standards are finals, then I'm happy for you, mate. I'm happy. Go for it. Get to a final and get beat. Right? It doesn't matter to me. All I care about is picking trophies up as a United fan. No one thinks about the finalists. No one knows about the runners-up. You tell me the runners-up of all these competitions over them years. And that's a different conversation altogether. Like, I'm happy for you to think that that's the right standard. We don't need to show any loyalty to any manager. We don't. Because we've been crying out to see certain players this season that we haven't. And now all of a sudden them players are in and doing okay. Everyone's saying, well, now look what he's doing. This is good. I'm not having it. Like, he could have done so much different earlier in the season. And for me, this manager has got no loyalty to the players either, because he's thrown the players that have been playing, apparently, that aren't good enough, because he said you cannot compete in this league with these injuries. So that means that the players that have been coming in have not been good enough then. Rome wasn't built in one day. Keep firing managers every other year. We will never win anything. Well, keeping the same manager doesn't necessarily guarantee that changes anything either, does it? So everyone's saying, look, keep changing managers. You're not going to win anything. Chelsea kept changing managers and they won something. But again, people are very, very, I like to say, too concentrated on what's gone past before. So if anyone thinks that this whole situation with managers being sacked and we need to realise where the problem was, like, if we were going into this summer and this was the case again, and we're talking in the same way and Ineos weren't here, I'd be probably on the same page. Like, what's the point? Under the Glazers, it's not going to work. We've seen this before. But what people keep on forgetting in all of this isn't a normal summer. This is Ineos completely changing everything that has been wrong with the football club and everything that Manchester United fans have been moaning about as the issue. Structure. It starts at the top, from the top to the bottom. All of the quotes on the radio, all of the ranting and raving from fans over the last few seasons regarding Manchester United and where it's going wrong. We've done all of that. So you do not want to trust a process and a structure that is looking like it's going to get Manchester United back and do everything that we've been moaning that we've not done over the last 10 years. Do you not want to trust in their decision at the end of the season? People just think too far back for me. And it's like the old player situation again. When people were saying against Crystal Palace, look, it's the players again. They've been doing it for years. The players that have been doing it for years weren't on the pitch against Palace. They were all Ten Hag players. And they failed. He couldn't get the team to work. They were his players that he brought in. So I'm not having it. You can forget about that excuse over the last few games. You can forget about the injury excuse. Because other teams have been dealing with worse than what we've had. So, again, like, where are your standards at? It goes back to what we said at the start of the video, doesn't it? I agree with packing the midfield tomorrow. This season, our midfield has been left wide open. We can't do that against the noisy neighbours. The game will be over in the first 20 minutes, pretty much like it was last time. Treating managers and club legends like De Gea like this, and we wonder why Rashford heart is not in it anymore. Wow, he sees Glazer's poison first hand every day. Man, mate, you cannot be bringing Marcus Rashford into this. Self-pride takes over everything, surely, as a Man United player when you wear that shirt. No, let's just look at it this way. Again, sacking managers like this. The way it's always been wrong. The way it's always gone wrong continuously. Just need to realise that this is not the same summer. It's not what it was. I don't understand how people don't see this. Like, you got to give Ineos the best chance. They have to put something in place that works for them. And then we can start criticising them. But they have caused none of the problems over the last decade. And right now they're in the middle of making a decision that they don't care about what's happened before. They're looking at what they can do now to make United better. So take away the history of United sacking manager after manager after manager. It counts for nothing when it comes to this conversation. Because Ineos are starting from scratch. They do not care about what's gone before. It's what's happening now and going forward. It's drawing a line drawing a line in the sand and saying this is how Manchester United are moving forward now, and this is what we think we need to go in that direction. Not bringing up the history of the Glazers running the football club and saying that this is the same thing happening again. It's completely different. And it's where I will come back on people and say, look, you cannot bring that sacking manager argument constantly as being the blueprint for failure into this. It's not. It's nowhere near the same. And sometimes you just have to look at what's going on right now and forget about what's gone past. Because it isn't the same scenario. Like, look, if Ineos think that Ten Hag is the right man, and I've said this before, then we commit to Ten Hag. I don't think, personally, in my opinion, is he's been good enough. Especially this season. The drop-off has been severe. But if Ineos want to commit to Ten Hag, give him a 3-year contract and let's move forward. If they want to change the manager, he'll get a 3-year contract, we move forward. We need to forget from the end of this season what's gone past. This is a new era. It's a fresh start. Manchester United have got something in place that we've not had for decades, which is a footballing structure. And that's the most important thing of all. They're just putting the pieces into work. Or as they're putting the pieces into work, Ineos, what they think is the best, and is going to take Manchester United in the direction that they see the club needing to go in. So it's gonna split opinion. I'm like I said, I'm not dismayed. I'll argue back. I'll debate it, and that's what I love about it. I don't want everyone to see it in my way at all. I understand what people are saying. I do feel the fear of sacking another manager and it going back to how it was. I do understand that. I do. But my whole point and my whole argument going all the way through this process is that Ineos had nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do with what went the last 2 decades. They're starting now. And if they think that they need another manager in place to move forward with the structure that they've put in that we've all wanted for years, then they have to do it. And I said at the top of this show, what Ineos are doing right now is everything that every single Manchester United fan has been bitching and moaning about the club not doing for decades. Now we're doing it. Everyone's got a bleeding problem with it all of a sudden. Come on. You've got to see that side of it, surely. I can still see people disagreeing with me, but hey, it's fine. It is what it is. You have more faith in Ineos than I do. Man United are finished. See, I'm not willing to let the club go. I'm not going to say we're done. I can understand how people would see this as a bad thing. I do. But I cannot, as a United fan, completely go down the road of we are completely done and dusted. Like, I've had to convince myself. I've had to change my mind a lot of times. I've had to look into detail about things that I didn't agree with to try and bring a positive out of it to try and see how we would go forward. There is 1,000,001 debates and different arguments and opinions out there about what is right and what is wrong. No one is ever going to agree completely. It's just what it is. It's going to be the same. Like no one was completely. Everyone wasn't on board with Ineos when they came in. I wasn't. I thought the Qatar bid was the better option because I could see no debt. I was just sick of the debt. But what Ineos have done, and if they do stick to what they've said, then we can only go off what they've said so far. So I'm reacting to what Ineos have done so far. Like 3 years down the line, I think we could start looking at Ineos and asking some serious questions and things are going wrong. But do we need to give them a chance? Are Ineos and the Glazers better than just the Glazers? Everyone's got to agree on that one, surely. Surely we have to all be in agreement with that. Like, it's better not having full control Glazers over Manchester United. It's better actually having someone who wants to talk about football and put football matters first at the football club. That's what I've seen, and that's what Ineos have convinced me with. So yeah, I just feel like we just need to look at what is happening now, and that's it. We cannot dwell on the past, and we cannot look at it as this is the same as what it was before, because it's not. It really isn't, is it? Because all of that happened with the Glazers. We had money men in charge. We're bringing in people that probably weren't the right people for the jobs and the right players. And now we have what is known as the norm in football clubs. We're just excited because we've never had it before, us United fans. But there you go. There you go. Guys, make sure you please do like the video. Subscribe as well to Forever United TV. I promise you, I'm not just having a go at you if you've got a different opinion. I understand everyone's side of it. I can understand everyone's debate. It's when people tell me like it is the same when I know it's clearly not. That's my argument back. That's all I'm saying, because I'm looking at it from now, and I always will just look at it from now. I know the past. I don't even want to think about the past, because the past is where we've got it wrong. We're on a new regime. We're on a new ownership model right now, a new structure, and we have to look ahead. Otherwise, we'll end up killing ourselves, thinking back to the bad days, and this all happening again. It's hard, and proof is in the pudding, is in the eating, and we need to do some walking as well as the talking. It's all to come. It's all to come. But guys, yeah, that is the end of the show. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been a great one. I've loved that. I've loved the debate. Even the people that don't agree with me, I love it. It's what it's all about, and I think United fans are just all going to be at each other's throats for a while until we actually see some decent football. But here we go. One more game to go. Tomorrow is that. Xavi sacked and Flick Fave to replace him. Is that true? Has that just happened? Has Xavi been sacked by Barcelona? I need to double check that, actually. Romano would have said it, wouldn't he? Surely. So an official Barcelona statement confirmed Xavi Hernandez has been fired. What the hell is going on with managers right now? Xavi's on the table, guys. Do you think Ineos are going to go and speak to him before the cup final? Well, now it's coming a little bit interesting. Right, okay. I could go on forever and a day. It's for another show. But yeah, we're going to finish ours up there. But Xavi has been sacked by Barcelona. And yeah, that's another opportunity for another manager now. Jesus. Pochettino? De Zerbi? Could he go there? I don't think McKenna will go there. Wow. United, Chelsea, Brighton, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, all going into the summer without a manager. I think this is an unheard of one. It is. I know that company has been agreed and everything like that, but wow, some big clubs without managers, absolutely crazy. I will be back with a recorded show later, looking ahead to the final in detail, guys. I've got Alfie's Cup final tonight, so I won't be live unless something breaks later on. Again, we'll do a late show. But yeah, schedule tonight is a look ahead, full-on look ahead for the Cup final. Hopefully there's no more breaking news. We don't need any more breaking news now, because we just want to concentrate on the derby and the Cup final. That's all that matters. Ten Hag to Barcelona, says Louise. Oh, God. Guys, check out in the description all of our links to our sponsors, partners, and podcast information. The United Couple episode 5 is out. Link in the description, guys. Click on that. Go and give it a follow and let me know what you think. And yeah, that's it. Give the video a like on the way out, guys. Well over 200 likes today. Thank you so much. I will see you all later on. Have a fantastic Friday. The bank holiday weekend is here, guys. Enjoy it. It starts now, Friday afternoon.